My girlfriend tested my loyalty by catfishing me. I passed. She said I should be proud. I broke up with her. Hey, Reddit, I've been chewing on this for months now. I never post stuff like this, but I need a place to get this off my chest. 28M, met my GF, 26F, at a mutual friend's rooftop party about 2.5 years ago. You know how you can walk into a room and one person just commands attention? That was her. She had a bold laugh, a ton of charisma, and a way of making people feel like they were the only one in the room. We got to talking, initially just because we were both stranded near the cooler and joking about how bad the sangria was. It started off light, flirty, and kind of sarcastic. She made fun of my sneakers. I teased her about her playlist. Classic meet-cute stuff. Before the night was over, we were sitting on the fire escape eating leftover tacos someone brought from their car. It just clicked. We started dating soon after. At first, it felt easy, effortless even. We'd text nonstop, FaceTime before bed, and she'd show up with coffee just because I said I was tired. She knew my friends, met my siblings, and even got along with my mom, which, trust me, is rare. I thought she might be the one. Now that I've had some space from the situation, I realize a lot of little things I brushed off were actually big red flags. She was obsessed with other people's relationships, constantly comparing. Did you see Jenna's boyfriend bought her a necklace? I wish you did stuff like that. Or, why don't you post me like Ryan posts his girlfriend? I'm a private person. I don't use social media much. I barely post selfies, let alone romantic captions. But I told her that from the start. I made it clear I wasn't trying to hide her. I just didn't live online. Still, she took it personally. Accused me of being ashamed of her or hiding our relationship. Other things too, like how she'd ask pointed hypotheticals that didn't feel hypothetical. Would you ever cheat? Have you ever thought about cheating? What if I got really fat? What if we had a long-distance thing? Would you still be loyal? They came out of nowhere, and I'd always give her honest answers, but they never seemed to reassure her. She also had a weird thing about my phone. Not overt snooping, but like, if I left the room and got a notification, she'd glance over. Once she straight up asked, "Can I go through your DMs?" And I laughed it off, thinking it was a joke, but I saw in her eyes that it wasn't. This is where things took a hard left. Around 3 months before we broke up, I got a DM on Instagram from a girl named Clara. She was cute, real-looking, not overly filtered. Just a pretty girl who followed a few local pages and people. The message said something like, "Hey, sorry if this is random, but I saw your profile through a mutual friend and thought you were really attractive. Hope that's not too forward." I wasn't born yesterday. I've been in a relationship long enough to know when to ignore things. So I did, left it on unread. Later that night, I showed my GF the message just to be transparent. She raised her eyebrow, smiled, and said, "Interesting," then asked what I planned to do. I said I'd probably just delete or block. She gave me this kind of cryptic look, said something like, "Would you have answered if I didn't exist?" I told her no. It wasn't even a question to me. But Clara didn't stop. A couple of days later, another message came in. Something like, "I know you're probably taken, but if you're ever looking for something fun, let me know." This time, I wrote back, politely but firmly, "Hey, appreciate the message, but I'm in a relationship. All the best." Then I blocked her. I didn't think twice about it. I honestly kind of forgot about it. 2 weeks later, we were at her place watching a show. She paused the episode and got super quiet. Then she said, "I have something to tell you, but you have to promise not to freak out." My gut immediately dropped. She pulls out her phone, opens Instagram, and shows me the account. Clara. It was her. She created the whole thing. Used fake photos. Later told me they were her cousin's friend who lived in another state. Followed local accounts to make it seem legit, and messaged me to test if I would cheat. I literally sat there speechless. She said, "You passed. I'm actually so happy. You don't understand. This proves I can trust you." I didn't feel trusted. I felt humiliated. She'd lied to me. She'd manipulated me. She baited me like I was on some reality TV show. When I told her how betrayed, I felt she didn't get it. She said, "You're making this a bigger deal than it is. It was just a test." We argued for hours. She kept insisting that if I had nothing to hide, I shouldn't care. That other girls would be happy to know their man was loyal. I told her flat out that this wasn't love. This was a loyalty trap, and if the roles were reversed, if I had catfished her, she'd lose her mind. She didn't have much to say to that. I left that night. She tried to reach out the next day, sent long texts apologizing, saying she just wanted to feel secure, that she didn't want to lose me, that she needed proof. I was good. I didn't respond for a week. Needed space. When I finally agreed to meet, I hoped she'd own up to it. Realize how messed up it was. Instead, she doubled down. Said she thought her method was actually pretty smart, and that modern dating requires modern solutions. I couldn't believe it. I told her we were done. That trust is the foundation of any relationship, and what she did blew a hole through it. I walked out. That was the last time we saw each other. I've spent the past couple of months doing a lot of thinking. Yes, there were good times, beautiful ones, but love built on distrust will always collapse. I now realize I was constantly being monitored, constantly on trial, and no one should have to earn basic trust over and over in a relationship. I think a lot about the irony. She didn't trust me enough to believe I'd stay loyal, but I was. And because of her lack of trust, she lost me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've had mutual friends reach out. One of them, who knows both sides, told me she's still defending what she did, saying she was just being careful and that a lot of guys would have failed. Another friend told me she started dating again and that she asked someone else if they'd ever been tested before. Unreal. I also found out from one of her closer friends that she's done this kind of thing before. Not full-on catfishing, but checking her ex's phone when he wasn't looking, DMing girls from his account to see how they'd react. So, yeah, I guess I wasn't the first lab rat. Relationships aren't pass-fail tests. They're about choosing someone and showing up every day with openness and trust. If you can't trust the person you're with, ask yourself why, and don't weaponize your fear into betrayal. Love is not trust but verify. It's trust and build, or it's nothing. To anyone reading this, if someone ever tests your loyalty with lies and manipulation, even if you pass, you should run. You deserve someone who believes in you without needing proof.